Hi, my name is Mark Galvan. I'm an outside sales agent with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty with the Rudy team in San Gabriel. A little bit about myself. I was born in East Los Angeles, and my grandparents were from Mexico. Actually, my grandparents were born in Mexico, came here. My parents were born here in Los Angeles, as were me and my siblings. I'm in the middle. I'm the fifth, I believe, of 7 kids. We were 9 of us. Grew up in a 2-bedroom house initially, 9 of us, and then we moved to a 3-bedroom house. When I was 5, we moved to just on the outside of Orange County in La Mirada, which was a great move. I really appreciate my dad doing that for us. And so I had a really good schooling in La Mirada, where we were raised. And it was interesting growing up. It was a mixed culture, a new experience for me. I was from East LA, a Mexican-American community, and I went to basically all Anglo community and had a great time. Met a lot of friends, good experiences. Although I still don't speak Spanish, and I regret that. So one of these days, one of my goals is to actually learn how to speak Spanish. Went to school locally. I stayed locally for college. I went to, started at Cerritos, a couple semesters, went to Cyprus. I got a degree, I started getting a degree in photography, but had to drop out because, not of school, but of the program, because when I went to color photography, you had to pay for your own paper and chemicals and whatnot, and it got really expensive and I couldn't afford it. I was a starving student. So I had to decide what to do. I switched to philosophy. I grew up in a Christian family, and my interest was always theology, and I thought about studying philosophy as well. So I made the switch there, got my degree in philosophy, undergraduate degree, and then another undergraduate degree in religious studies, and then I finally went for a master's in public administration. So I got my master's there, and then I started working in the public sector as a administrator in local government, and I worked for the city of La Mirada, and then I went to Orange County. I went to the city of Paramount, and I was doing city planning. One of my best, most exciting, rewarding jobs was as a city planner. Really liked that job, and kind of wish I would have stayed in that field, but I did for a while. City planner, and then I went to the city of Tustin, where I was more involved with the code enforcement and code compliance, things like that. And then eventually I went to the city of Downey, where I worked for the city of Downey Police Department, and I worked in their neighborhoods. And one of my responsibilities was to address the problem neighborhoods, identify who the gangsters were, and who the drug dealers were, things like that, and get them off the streets. And sometimes get them in jail, or getting them evicted from the apartments where they were causing problems. It was an interesting job. From there, I stayed with the city of Downey, but I went into the housing division, and I was doing home improvement type loans, and also still dealing with code enforcement, beautification, working with improving communities and making them clean, graffiti free, shopping cart free, and dealing with and home improvements as well. We did loans for people who wanted they needed a new roof. Let's say they were a senior citizen on a fixed income, they couldn't afford a roof, or to modify the kitchen, or they needed new windows. So we would do it like a loan program. Sometimes there are grant programs, and we do these improvements for senior citizens, mostly seniors, sometimes just low income people. It was a really rewarding program. I also did commercial media loans as well. So that was a really nice experience working for local government. And then I retired from that about 8 or 9 years, 7, 8, 9 years ago, something like that. And for the last 20 years, I've been doing part-time real estate throughout all my career as a city planner and code enforcement, that type of thing. And then I had the opportunity to go full-time once I retired from my local government jobs. So that's what I've been doing ever since. So while I was working with the city of Downey, there were a lot of real estate companies in Downey. For some reason, there was a really big concentration of offices in Downey. And there were probably 6 or 7 Century 21 offices and all the other brokerages you can find as well. A lot of them. And it kind of interested me. Since I worked there anyway, I figured, well, these guys are, there's a lot of real estate offices, and a lot of these guys are well known. They made really good money. And I thought maybe that's something I could do on the side as well. So I got my license, and then I started doing it part-time with a local brokerage there in Downey, Mal and Rita, 24-hour real estate. That's where I got my license. And started doing it there. I always wanted to, I felt like I had a good background in that because I was so involved with like the housing community and neighborhoods that I knew about zoning codes, code compliance, building codes, things like that, because I dealt with that all the time. So I thought I'd be good at it, and I thought that I could transition that over into real estate, and it has served me well. Then I went to from Mal and Rita, I went over to Whittier, and I got involved in real estate in Whittier a little bit with a couple of brokerages there. Found that I wasn't really satisfied with the type of training they did and the lack of support. So I struggled with that for a while, and then I came across Dave Delgado's office and the work that he's done in Whittier, and I thought, at the time I also was, I used to do a lot of door knocking, and I was diagnosed with a skin condition, and I couldn't be out in the sun anymore, and I said, there with my door knocking, so then now what am I going to do? So then coincidentally I read about Dave. Somehow, I forget how I found out about him, but decided that no cold calling, no door knocking, just doing telephone work. So I thought, well, I'll be indoors out of the sun, so I'll try that. So I went with Dave Delgado's office in Fullerton and did that for a while. And then just recently he made the move to consolidate his office or transition his office under the umbrella of Your Household Guaranteed with Rudy. So I jumped with a few of the other people that were working there and made the transition over here, which I find is really fascinating. The amount of broker support and training is just tremendous. This is non-stop. It's 24 hours, 24/7 basically, with all of the training on the internet and workplace and yourhomesoldguaranteed.com, all the resources there. And it's wonderful that so many of the agents there are willing to share their experiences and their own knowledge with the rest of the newcomers. So I feel really welcome here, and look forward to taking advantage of the resources and training, and just go from there. One of my goals now is to enjoy the back nine and hopefully travel. I've always wanted to travel but didn't have the resources to do it. I've traveled a little bit, but not too much. I want to go to Europe like everybody else does. I want to go see Italy, I want to go Germany, check out the castles, and go to Ireland, just things like that. As well as just traveling for myself. One of my other goals is to help my adult kids. Even though they're adults and they're on their own, I still would like to be there for them and help them, buy their first house, or get their upgraded cars, things like that. Just get them settled more as they're settling into their careers, and just be happy knowing that they're settled and they'll have a good foundation just to continue life and go forward. So I'm really looking forward now to learning about some of the techniques and strategies you guys are learning here, meeting some more people, and hopefully contributing with the training in the future, and implementing some of the techniques we're learning and establishing a good career for myself. Looking forward to participating with some of the activities and participating with the ARBIDs and various things like that, and mastering those techniques and we'll see what happens from there. I'm looking forward to the challenge.